Okay, so we're right at time. So I'm going to kick it off because what else would I do? And so this is the webinar workshop to monetize your AI clone. We'll cover, last time we went a little bit deep into how to create, let me approve that, how to create an AI clone to compress time, replicate yourself. This time we're going to cover that briefly, but then go more into how can you monetize it just to stimulate your creativity. The whole idea here is it's a workshop. And so do as much as you can in real time. Just open up whatever your AI is and key some things in, make some notes. Don't worry about being overly detailed or perfect because we'll send this recording to you afterwards. Just get some frame of reference, take a few steps because AI is here. Before you guys came on, I was saying this is all AI. I'm an AI avatar of myself. I'm joking, not yet, right? At some point. And so it's already changing how we work, right? The what and why is mostly the same, but the how is going to change dramatically. And I can envision within a few years, 3 years, where a line staff level employee will have multiple AI agent employees that they're managing. And that, imagine the skill it's just a different skill. And so it's already here, already changing things. Definitely have a vision for what you're going to, right? That destination. And I'm going to argue that customers' expectations are going to change a lot. They're going to, if at the point everyone's accustomed to AI agents doing things very fast, like in minutes versus days, weeks, then customers are going to expect better, faster, right? And then what does that do to the financial model and your financial freedom kind of stuff? So all of you, kudos to you for being here. We're not too late. We're being proactive. We're taking the first steps, crawl, walk, run. As long as we keep doing that, right? Those continuous steps, then we'll end up somewhere well. When new things develop, we'll be able to embrace those, break the ice, and do something with it. So I want to introduce my co-host, Mitch, who's going to be doing most of the expertise, guidance here. Mitch is a business coach. He's also an author. You see Power Tribe. I remember reading that book like years ago, even before I met Mitch. So I kind of felt like I knew him when I talked to him, and then I really knew him later on. And so Mitch is a business coach and an AI implementation specialist. And so we'll at the end of all this, I'll share the recording, share contact information, encourage people to talk to each other and bring each other along. Okay, I'm going to drop into the chat box here a link to a WhatsApp group where we collaborate every day, every week about AI. You can share things, you can ask questions, and that way we're making this flight. We're not alone. You got there's about 108 people in there now, so you got people in there that might have good ideas, and certainly you can share good ideas with them and collaborate because a lot of this stuff is not easy, right? It's a different way of working. I've been stuck more than once this week alone, so it's not easy. So we're better off by being together. So today we're going to look at building your AI clone. We're going to teach you that you can actually have it speak in your voice, like the audio. And then Mitch is going to spend most of his time on how to monetize that AI, just different options, at least start to stimulate some creative ideas for doing this. We set this up as a meeting, right? So you can see each other. If you got a question, you can raise your hand and come off mic and interact, right? And then if you don't want to do that, you can drop any question you have in the chat box. I'll keep an eye on that to bring questions to Mitch. And so with that, I'm going to say over to you, Mitch. Let's go. Everybody ready? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
baby, let's make it happen.
Let's go.
All right. So first of all, I just want to do a quick check. Everybody who's on the call, can you hear me clearly? Please type a yes into the chat if you can hear me clearly. So I know, thank you. This way I know that I'm reaching people. The second thing I wanted to briefly say is that we covered a lot in our last free session. And I'm wondering if you have seen that session. So if you've seen that session, again, you could give me a double yes. If not, we can get you the recording to the first session. Because this is going to depend a little bit more on some of the things we already covered before, and I know that not everybody has seen it, I'm going to do a very fast, maybe 1 minute overview of what we did last time so that you can sort of get a feel for it. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. and I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did last time. So what we did last time is we talked about ChatGPT in detail. And one of the most important things we did was we talked about two elements of ChatGPT that you need to do for yourself and for your business. The first element is personalization. And if you go to your plus menu up top, and by the way, if you don't see a plus menu, that means you didn't pay that $20 a month for your own subscription, and you should. It's very much worth it. Then we're going to go to personalize, and this is where you get to tell ChatGPT all about you. Now, I would suggest that you put in as much information as you want. The
Where
other
with
thing,
personalized, Mitch, I was looking at my ChatGPT screen. Get to
Mhm.
go back one sec.
Sure, let's cancel out of this. Go here, personalize.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay. So what I was going to tell you here is you should put as much as you want ChatGPT to know about you inside of this window. And it's not a lot of memory, but it gives you enough memory so that ChatGPT gets to know you. But then it's important to click this button too, enable for new chats. And what that means is that ChatGPT is going to learn about you as you ask questions. And it will, like, for example, if you say, I'm working on a new book, I'm working on a new thesis, or whatever that might be, it will put that in memory and know that about you. The other thing is you could indicate how you want to be spoken to. I frankly prefer to be very straight shooting. So I don't want to get a lot of, oh, how wonderful I am, and how grateful they are for asking me a question. That's not the point. So once you do this customization, now ChatGPT is sort of armed with some of the things about you that you would like it to know. Now, what can you do with this? You could say something like, tell me what you think I should write about next. Now, because ChatGPT knows me so well, my personal life, my spiritual life, my business life, my social life, it's going to draw, and all on that, it's going to tell me exactly what I should write next. Now, which is very funny because these are things that all of the sort of things that I've been doing, and there it is. Now, I didn't tell it anything more than ask that one question. So this is something that I think you could sort of sit here and do this all day long and enjoy it. It's just so much fun, and it gives you a lot of flexibility as to what you want to do. So we did cover this in great depth in the first class. So I'm going to leave this here, but I want to cover one more thing here. And that is when you go here, what you really want to do at this point is, let's go back up to here. You want to go to your GPTs. So when you do that, and this, by the way, is how you do it, you go to settings, and then from here, hold on a second. Okay, so GPTs, you go here and you can create projects and GPTs that you want to create. Now, what is a GPT? It's like a chat window, but you preloaded it with information. So you can, for example, preload it. Let's put in this right here. So take a look at my GPT. So what I did is I uploaded the manuscript for a book that I've written, and now I could ask that manuscript questions. I could ask questions of the book, and it will give me answers based on the book itself. So you could do that simply by going to your own GPTs here, and then creating one for yourself, my GPTs. Did you see up here in the right-hand corner? You see that little my GPTs? You see here it says create. So this is, again, what we covered last week. I don't want to go deep into this because we did it once before, but you name your GPT, add a description, tell it what you want it to do, and give it some questions that you would like it to start with. Upload the files, give it capabilities, okay? And now once you click create, that GPT is like a little knowledge base based on you or on whatever that you configure. Now, again, I apologize. I know I'm going fast. We did this last time, but I want to sort of bring you up to speed to what we had covered before. And I'm going to give you a chance to get more deep into this as well with me later. So here we are back at the basic interface. And something I learned over the weekend, this interface that you see right here, this is probably going to replace most websites. This has become a universal interface, and you're going to start seeing it more and more as products roll out, which I think is very interesting. Now let's talk a little bit about monetization. So monetization means I can create a GPT, which I just showed you, and I could then charge for it. Well, you do have to use a product called Pickaxe. Now, I'm going to place a link in the chat for Pickaxe for you, but I want to show you some of what's possible. So if you create a studio in Pickaxe, a studio is going to give you like a little storefront. So if you say new studio and you say, this is my books and videos. Now what I could do here is I've created a storefront, and it's going to give me the chance to create custom GPTs I could load into that storefront and potentially sell. So here's the one I just created. Okay. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to take a look at the ideal avatar builder one that I already created just to show it to you. Now I've distributed this among my friends and among some guests, and it's had some usage, but the studio itself is just like a custom GPT. So at this point, it's, remember, just as you saw a minute ago, it's going to give you a way to upload content. And this is the configure button here. To upload knowledge. And this is going to give you the ability to have it ask the questions you want. It's going to give you the ability to connect files. And I already have my files in here and documents. So I have a client avatar map document. And this now becomes something that I can price and sell. This is how you take a GPT using this tool called Pickaxe. And now you can configure it the way you want. Now, I told you I would give you something as a way to, hold on here. Let's do it this way.
Can I just ask a question? Why would I use Pickaxe if I can create the GBT in OpenAI?
Well, would you like a storefront? How about you had 5 GPTs and you want to create an investor toolbox? Now you can load all 5 of them into a storefront and put a price on it by adding your Stripe account link. That's how.
Okay, so this connects. This is how you monetize. We're talking about that. Okay, yeah.
We're talking about monetization here.
Yeah.
So if we go to I'm trying to see if I can find out how to do this here. Oh, share your affiliate link. So, okay. So I'm going to put this here in chat. If you sign up with my link, which believe me, doesn't make a whole lot of money, but if you sign up with my link, I'll be happy to answer questions about this for you. Other than that, I would suggest you go to Pickaxe and get your questions answered. But if you use my link, I'll answer the questions for you. It's not a big deal. But I want you to be able to use it. And that's the most important thing here. So before I leave Pickaxe, I kind of showed you what a GPT is.
Do you mind if I ask, where did the Pickaxe come from? Like, is it an app or like?
It's an app. So if you click on the link I just posted, it will open up the Pickaxe website. Pickaxe is a separate company. And what they did is they wrapped a shell around AI. So the shell that they wrapped around AI would give you many different models to work with. You don't have to work with only ChatGPT. You could work with Claude or Google's, any of them, Gemini is fine, whatever you want to do. The whole idea behind Pickaxe and what makes it unique is it gives you the idea to create studios. And that's the most important thing. So if you could create studios, then from there, you have, and here's an example. This is a studio. So first of all, just a real quick, a little self-plug. Kirk said I had published 4 books. Yesterday, I published my 5th book called Licensing for Leverage. So I'm not just here to show off or show you that. I wanted to go back to my pickaxe here and tell you that I've created a custom pickaxe for licensing for leverage. So if I go to this custom pickaxe, okay, now, for example, if I posted this, and I have posted it on my licensing for leverage website, I can give anybody who visits my website the ability to determine if their intellectual property can be properly licensed. Now, this tool would be the equivalent of reading the whole book I just wrote and then answering all the questions and the multiple surveys and questionnaires that I provided in the book. Now you could just go to the GPT inside the pickaxe and get all the answers immediately. So why bother writing books, right? Well, books are a way of advertising your GPTs, maybe. I don't know. But the whole idea of this is to show you the flexibility in how to do this. Now, one of the other things which I'm not here to demonstrate today, but I want to show you that you can still use AI, and in the same project, I'm going to go into Delphi for a second. And I want to show you one thing that Delphi does, and this is more about monetization. Now, if you were on the last workshop, I demonstrated my personal clone. Kirk got really excited when he saw that. He figured he could save a lot of consulting hours by using a personal clone. And I'm going to demo it again, but I also want to show you how to make one real quick.
So
So
this is a different program?
this is a completely different program.
Okay.
I switched gears entirely.
Okay.
Now, what is it that I'm doing here? I want to create a Mitch Russo clone, voice clone that acts like me, speaks like me, and thinks like me. So before we even demonstrate it, let's go back for a second and take a look at what that looks like. So we go back here to Mitch Russo's clone. So the first thing that has to happen here is you have to program it. So you're going to go to delphi.ai. I'll put that in chat for you. And with Delphi AI, you get to build your clone. Now, in this case, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to follow a very simple series of steps, and that's to upload your content. When I got done uploading everything about me, I uploaded 2.9 million words. That's everything I've ever written, everything I've ever spoken, everything I've ever posted, all my interviews, all of my podcasts, all of my blog posts, everything on all of my websites into this clone. The next thing I'm going to be able to do here is go to Access, and I'm going to give people the right or the ability to use it. So these are some of the people who've used it. And then the Advanced tab simply gives you the ability to connect up your Stripe account and get paid for it. So we talked about how to get paid for this, but then you might say, well, what are you getting paid for? Now, if you're a coach or if you're any form of you work with clients directly, you probably charge anywhere from, I'm going to say $250 to $2,000 an hour, maybe more. Well, what would happen if you gave your clients access to your clone for $500 a month? I mean, they might think it's pretty useful. So let's see how useful it really is. Now, I'm going to simulate a conversation here because I got the microphone. So let's see how this works. I'm going to start with voice.
Yeah, Mitch, this is part that I thought was interesting, where it's actually Mitch's voice, which is interesting, and I do think that there's a potential that some of these capabilities will be integrated into one, like maybe Chat GPT or something else. But right now, it's still a bit to manage. At least for me, it is.
Yeah.
But by seeing this, you start to imagine what's possible, and it only gets easier month to month, year to year kind of stuff. So, but this is what kind of wowed me. It sounded like Mitch.
Exactly. So the other thing I want to point out is that I'm skipping ahead here, so don't worry. I'm going to go back and show you how to configure this. I want to make sure, though, that you understand the value of it before I do. So we're going to start a call. Must be busy.
Thinking.
Yeah. So, and we're only 17 seconds in so far, but I guess this system is becoming so popular. It's getting a lot of use lately. Let me give you about some of the uses while it's thinking. Um, this is something that you could paste right onto your website. This is something that you could put at the bottom in your signature file when you send out an email. And you could set it up so that it will answer 2 or 3 questions before asking for money. You could also set it up to prompt whoever you're speaking to as well to ask for money. I think I'm gonna hang up and try again. Oh, something went wrong. Okay, let's try again. And it doesn't appear to be working today.
Yeah.
I tried it out this morning for testing. Let's try one more thing. Okay, start a call. And if it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to go back into configuration.
I wonder
Now-
if it's I wonder if it's a bandwidth issue, like the fact that you're on a Zoom call, but has that happened before where it's such a long lag?
Never saw this before.
Yeah.
So let's go back here for a minute and let's talk a little bit about what I had started to say. So we have this thing called monetization. Monetization gives you the ability to set up usage limits, to set up exactly, let's take a look here, how you want, by the way, it says Stripe required. So you add your Stripe link into the system so that people can pay you for usage. So if I go to finish setup and it'll ask you for your email address and you give it an email address, for example. And now it will, again, this is all part of what it's asking for here. But it's basically going to help you set it up for monetization. So I'm going to try one more time to see if it works. And if it doesn't,
So that is an instant connection to Stripe through Delphi?
yeah. So what's going to happen is you're going to put in, if you ever configured anything with Stripe before, you put in your secret password, you put in the secret passkey, I should say. And at that point, it connects up your storefront directly to Stripe. The other thing is, of course, is that you can get alerts and you can create products. So all of these things are part of how you monetize your clone. Now, let's go back to the mind part for a second. There's 2 things about this that are important. First of all, you need to create your profile. And your profile, of course, you clone your clone handle is typically your name. Your biography is, your long description of who you are. And you fill out a kind of a form and everything else. And then it gets down to speaking style. So you describe how you want it to speak, and then you're going to upload audio files so that it can mimic your audio. All of this is part of the Mind tab that describes how you're going to set. Somebody's has their mic on when they're talking about something else. All right. So here again, you get to configure this to exactly how you want to do it. I like it concise. That's what I selected, but you can do this in any way you want. By the way, I don't know if you notice this, but I can have this clone speak in just about any language I want.
Oh, wow.
Even though I could barely speak English, let alone another language. So forget about that. But now my clone can speak in German or French or whatever license I want, like whatever a language I want. Now, if I go here to voice, okay, so this is where you get to improve your voice upload. So here, let's, for example, you upload your voice. Let's see, it'll play it. Hi, this is Mitch Russo, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about me and what I do. I'm all about helping business. See, that was what I uploaded into Delphi so that it can mimic my voice. you're going to do the same thing under voice. Now, there's another part that came out since I set this up, and that's video. So besides the audio, you get the video part too. Now you have that's a different fee. I see how much it costs. I don't remember. It's $100,000. Okay, I'm probably not going to be interested in that, but once again, it's there if you want it. So let's go back here and let's try another voice call. Maybe it'll work this time. But what I was trying to say before is that when you start doing this, what you're going to find is that as you start to see engagements, those engagements start showing up on the platform as analytics. So you could see what questions people are asking. You could also answer them. Yeah, it's not going to work. So you could also answer them and kind of get a feel for what it is that they want. So let's go back here for a second here. My clones. Okay. So here's some other good things. You can create memberships, monetize your expertise that way. So Delphi is really a cool platform for that. Now, I don't use it the way others do because I like to do all of my work live. But I built this because I teach AI a lot and I wanted to show people exactly how it works and what's possible. But you could do things like, let's say you had 200 people using your clone, you could send a broadcast. You can create tags for the different types of people who come, including the memberships as well. If you go to your last 7 days or last 30 days, you can see there were 5 conversations and 6 messages answered. So, again, this is all kind of stuff that you get from the platform. As far as access goes, you can see some of the people who've used it, and you can even see who's been invited. You could send your clone and see exactly who was invited, and you can even revoke people who are not welcome to use your clone or did not pay anymore. So it looks like, unfortunately, we're out of business for today. They're having a problem. But before I continue, I want to see if there's any other questions.
So
Wow.
this is Delphi, not Pickaxe.
This is Delphi.
Okay.
Right.
So that's
So-
another tool that you use to
Right.
hone your voice. Okay.
So far, we've basically covered 3 tools: ChatGPT, Pickaxe, and Delphi.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's really quickly review. Pickaxe is for you to create custom GPTs and group them together in a storefront. I had a client who builds tiny homes. He wanted to create a information center, and he also wanted to capture the login if anyone used it. That's why we used a Pickaxe for that. The Delphi program is all about again, you could chat with it too. You could also turn this into a very simple chat bot as well. So you could simply say, what type of certification programs are best for coaches? Now, this is what I would have asked it if I had voice available to me, but it's basically drawing on all of my information that I've already uploaded. So this is everything that I gave it, and it's giving it back to me in an intelligent way. So you could turn this into a chat bot and post it on your website very, very easily. And they could either do voice or they can do text. Let's go back here and see if we can start a call again. I'm somehow determined to get this to work, even though I don't think it's going to today for some reason. But, and then the other thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to show you one other thing. It wasn't part of today's original plan. Let's see here. Who here knows about Gamma? Does anyone know about Gamma?
Yeah.
Okay. Not everybody does. Gamma is a place where you can build websites. So I just wanted to mention to you that I built a website for my new book, Licensing for Leverage. And I built this using Gamma. So what did I do is I uploaded a set of bullet points and I asked Gamma to make me a website. If you go to gamma.app and walk through the process, it will create a multi-panel website for you for free. Now, I have the paid version because I'm having it do a lot more for me. And I have it build just about all of my client websites for myself and for my clients. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because if you start linking together a book, a website, a GPT, and a topic that you're an expert in, you literally have a powerful business model that you can then take forward and sell.
Are
Now,
you familiar with auto funnel?
auto funnel, I am not. No.
Okay.
No. Um, the thing about funnels, once again, is that there's so many different funnel programs. What I have found over the years is that Go High Level is what everybody has standardized on at this point. There's so many add-ons and products to Go High Level, it's almost not valuable to try and use something else. Now, there is another platform called Groove, which I've just started using and I really like it. It's inexpensive and it's easy to work with, and it has everything that, say, Go High Level does for about a tenth of the price. But once again, you have to get familiar with it. You have to be able to use it, and it doesn't have as many add-ons. It doesn't have as many features as Go High Level. So all of these things are part of the system of creating a business or enabling your business with AI and the proper tools. Now, one of the things I want to be clear about, I don't know every AI tool out there. I think it would be hard to do that. I know 7 to 10 AI tools that I consistently use and I'm good at that help me with my business. And I think with that perspective, it will help you prevent overwhelm. You won't get overwhelmed easily if you keep that in mind and you do it that way. If you try and, basically bounce around to every single tool in existence, then for heaven's sakes, you're going to be doing this all day long. Instead, stick with a set of tools, go deep on those tools, and really make it clear that you know those tools well. So Delphi for me is one of them. Pickaxe is another one for me.
It's just shy of under
And so
2,500.
some of these there's background noise.
Kurt, can you mute the person who's talking? I
Yeah,
can't. I don't.
Yep. There we go.
Anyway, okay. So once again, unless I thought this would be a little bit more fun if I could demonstrate it, but it's just not working today, and I don't know why. Anybody have any questions before we continue?
Well, I use Gamma, but for presentations. Oh, I wasn't aware that it can create a whole website for you.
Yeah. So if you go here to the home button and you say create new,
Mm-hmm.
you can create just about, so all you got to do is paste in some text, or you could generate an entire website with one line. So what do you do what is your business?
I am rolling out a financial literacy course.
Okay.
Oh.
So how about I say this? I am rolling out a financial literacy course, and I want students to enroll.
Okay.
Is there a specific, can I give it a little bit more information about what?
Yeah, women under 45 and over 45, 2 different courses.
Women under 45 and a separate course for over 45. Now, what it's going to do first is you're just going to see it's going to generate the outline. Now, it starts with the free version. It'll give you 8 cards, but you could buy as many cards as you want. And I think in the free version you get more than 8, but I think it was 8 to start with. So this is what it kind of did without us giving it any information other than one sentence.
Nice.
Okay, now watch what happens. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to pick a theme.
Mhm.
And so we're going to pick a theme, and again, we can make it simple. We're going to go with detailed content. I'm going to give it something. No, let's give it like this. That's more pretty. And then image style, we could say feminine and attractive, and say generate. And
Mhm.
so what it's going to do now, and there's two important things here about this. If you're brand new, you just come to the tool. It's gamma.app. You could do this for free.
Mhm.
And what's nice about this is it's going to give you these cards. And with these cards, you're going to be able to edit every single card the way you want it. Now, what's funny is it's going to put this into my library of gammas.
Oh boy.
So I had just become a financial literacy expert for women, uh, like it or not.
Women.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, so let's tie it all together. So going back to, specifically the monetizing the custom AI, how do you distinguish when to use Pickaxe versus Delphi?
Sure. So I just wanted to finish showing the site that it created in 2 minutes for free.
Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
Now, one of the other things you could do is you could output this to WordPress compatible, or you could just from here click on this button and create a full website. So, okay.
Oh,
So,
and so one quick question is, I already have content, so can I plug in my content and then have it like
yeah,
work with what I have?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you go back to the top, it says basically paste in text, and
Okay.
that's what you do. All right.
Import files. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So now let's go back and review. With Pickaxe, you're building studios that contain individual GPTs. It can have one, it can have 20, doesn't matter. Once you create a studio, you could then set up Stripe and charge for it. Once you have a studio, it's like a storefront. You can then take that and post it and sell it. Have someone sign up, pay the amount, and you receive the money. Now, Pickaxe works on a credits system. So the reason you want to charge for it is because Pickaxe is going to charge you a small amount for credits. So as people use your Pickaxe, it's going to use up your credits. You have to buy more. But it's a good thing because you're getting paid for it. So, like I said before, you get into all these different ways. You could design your studio any way you want. You could upload custom graphics. You can create your own landing page. You can create a pricing page. So, again, I didn't do this. I don't sell mine that way, but you can create your pricing page exactly how you want it. And then once you launch it, you get a URL for it. So if you go here to Pickaxes, here's the studio for the URL. And from here, here's the studio URL that you can then offer and sell. So that's what Pickaxe is. Delphi, unfortunately, I couldn't demonstrate today, um, is basically the same sort of situation. You can set it up for monetization, and it will allow you to charge clients for use of your clone. Now, just as a side note, I sent this clone to my daughter. I said, "Oh, I recorded some stuff. Why don't you take a look at it?" And about 30 minutes later, I get a text back from my daughter, and she says, "Nope, doesn't pass the dad test." So, what can I say? It sounded good, but it wouldn't convince my daughter.
Is
The other thing that we had talked about was ChatGPT. Now, as I said before, ChatGPT does not have a monetization feature, but it allows you to go very deep into customization. Now, you could take your GPT and you can embed it into the things you do. And by the way, I should show you a little bit about what I had done in this gamma here. When I go back home, I just want to show you one thing here. When I go to, I have let's see, is it this one here? No, I have a author's website just for my fiction work. And inside my author's website, one of the things that I did is I embedded a chat GPT. So you could do this very easily right with chat GPT. You don't need Pickaxe. You just put the URL of the GPT directly on the page. And if you open it, you go like this, it's going to open in a new tab. And let's see here, open in new tab. And it's there you go. Now they are in your GPT for whatever GPT you created. And like I said before, you can make as many of these as you want. This one is for my fiction book. And I could ask it anything I want about the contents of that book, or I could just ask it for sacred crossroads mystical advice and it will give it to me. So
So Mitch, is the main difference with like Delphi, is it the audio piece that's the main difference between Pickaxe and the storefront? Or what's I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out when would I use tool A versus tool B?
sure. So Pickaxe is good for people who like to create very individual function GPTs. Like I'm creating a GPT just for this topic or just for this to answer or solve this problem. Delphi is more for creating a clone of yourself. Now, a lot of the clone stuff that I do, in this case, for me, has everything I know. But I've helped clients create clones just for a certain segment of their customers. And for that, they're uploading only the content they want those customers to have access to. But remember before when it said I had 2.9 million words as part of my knowledge base? You can't do that with ChatGPT and you can't do that with Pickaxe. You can only do that with Delphi.
Yeah, so definitely different tools, and it's very. I'm going to. All this stuff is very fragmented, right? AI is moving. There's like 3,000 different tools out there, and so I'm going to encourage people to evaluate. First define what outcome you want, your objective, and what is the criteria for success, and then assess the tools for that to make sure you don't get too deep into one tool and it doesn't do what you want. And another thing that occurs to me is you got to have some level. You got to have some level of engagement from whatever audience you want, or you got to have a way of marketing. Like engagement might be, you got something that's hot and people want to interact with you and do the Q&A. Well, that would compress this time here. But I think it's fair to say most people don't have a lot of engagement like that. Like most people don't have 50 people every day lining up to talk with them. So then probably got to think about how to get the word out, like marketing, social media, how to drive traffic to whatever, clone of yourself that you're doing. And find out what's useful for people. Like what do they actually ask? And, and there could be even a customer support aspect to this. If you own a bunch of properties, you might have an AI answer questions like, where's the loading dock? How many pets can I have? Whatever it is, kind of stuff. I lost my keys.
Yeah.
So think about that, because a lot of us are good at building the mousetrap, especially on what we're really good at in the world. But the other side of getting, the audience attention where they're engaging in whatever you built, I see that as a key factor. Mitch, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think about that? Then I want to go to Demetrios, his question.
Sure.
Question I had was what I wanted to ask is are the avatars just audio, or are there video avatars, almost like a video conference from person to person?
Yes, there is a
That's it.
video function on Delphi. And as I had demonstrated, it costs about $1,000 per year to enable the video.
Okay.
So it works the same way as audio, except that it's going to upload samples of your video.
Yeah, and that could be cool, right? That could be having some kind of avatar moving around and interacting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The other thing is that if you're going to, if you're going to enable the video, there's got to be a reason why. It can't be just because of vanity. I mean, you're going to do it because the video has value to your clients for one reason or another. For me, the voice works great. It works better than text because with voice, you're able to like literally have a conversation. And as you can see, I continue to try here. It doesn't seem to kick in, but so you can continue to have the conversation. And by the way, in Delphi, that conversation could go on for hours. We were experimenting with it to see, we couldn't exhaust it. It just kept going and going and going. And if you upload enough information, it's going to be able to keep up with whoever is talking to it. And the person who's talking to it speaks natural language. So you could set this up to a phone line and have people call in and ask it questions.
No. And just to kind of expand the application, like for my business, we created the Freedom Platform, Grow CFOs. We have a custom AI, the Grow CFO AI buddy, and all my team members use it for best practices. Hey, there's a business that's out of cash. What do you do?
Right.
And it gives, and then it learns, based on the interaction, it learns from everybody who's using it. So there's definitely application. And I just think engagement is key. Like what audience has a significant engagement to do what you're looking to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So the whole idea behind AI is it's sure it's kind of cool. It's something new to learn and it's fun. But the most important element of this is how does this make me money? We covered some of that today. The other part of this is how do I save time? So there's only two things, time and money in business. That's kind of what we care about. So if we can make money with AI doing the work instead of us, that's great. If we could save time with AI, that's great too. So one of the things I wanted to do, by the way, is there any other questions about what I've already presented before we continue? Kirk, are you seeing any other questions on your side?
Nope, no hand raisers. So
Okay.
hold on.
All right. So what I wanted to do is I want to talk a little bit about philosophy here. And this is, for me, this is important. AI is not a replacement for you. It never will be. It's sort of like in the room that you're sitting in right now, there's an electrical plug in on the wall. And when you want a light to light up, you plug it in. AI is effectively intelligence on tap, and it's the same concept. It meters intelligence. That's what this whole process is. Depending on the type of output you're expecting, you might pay more for voice right now than you would for text. But ultimately, it's all going to become near free as life moves on. If you're not up to speed, if you have not used AI to help your business scale, then you're going to get left behind. And, for example, 5 years ago, what you knew was valuable, and helping people through it was also valuable too. Today, what you know has no value. I'm sorry to say, what you know has no value. Why? Because I could ask ChatGPT anything I want, basically, that you know. So I hate to say it, Kirk, but if I needed financial advice, the first place I go is ChatGPT. Now, if I said, okay, well, I have the
Me too.
information, right? So if I have the information and I need some help implementing it, that's when I'll call Kirk. You see, so this is really why it's important for you to come up to speed. That's why conventional coaching is just not working as a sales model anymore as well as it used to. Today, implementation and taking people through with real experience is what's working. But I truly want you to come up to speed with AI because of time saving. Let me give you another example. The book I just showed you a minute ago, Licensing for Leverage, I wrote that entire book in 2.5 weeks because I used AI. I created the cover, I wrote the book, I wrote all the promotional information for it. I built the custom GPT, all the surveys, all the downloads, and I put the entire thing on Amazon, ready to sell in 2.5 weeks. Is there anybody here that would like to do something like that too? Please raise your hand. I can see everybody. Raise your hand. Tell me if that's something you'd like to do. No hands. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Not, those hands, I see it. Alexei
Oh, good.
and
All right.
Elise,
I'm getting a
Alyssa,
few.
and yeah.
All right, good. So the point I'm making here is that that's just one of the things ChatGPT can do. Now, how many people here, and I'll include myself in this question, how many people here hate posting social media, wasting time creating social posts and posting them and creating them and following up? Who here hates that besides me? Anybody?
Hey,
All right,
yeah.
good. All right. So there are now tools that you could use to do all of it with AI in 5 minutes a month with 2 completely unique posts every single day. Would
Wow.
anybody be interested in that?
Yeah.
All right, fine. All right. So what I'm going to offer you guys today is a chance to work with me in a small group workshop where I take you through some of these more advanced tools a little bit slower than I did today, where we work side by side, step by step. And I'm going to be running a workshop. It's called the AI Supercharger Workshop. I've run it before. It's a lot of fun. Everybody loves it. If you care to, there's the link. You can click on it. It's in chat and sign up. Now, what we're going to be talking about is the book development stuff that I told you about. We're going to go deeper into website creation. We're going to do the AI automation that I showed you as well. And then I'm going to also add a few fun things at the end. I'm going to show you how to write songs in AI and have them sound like they were just recorded and playing on the radio. So there's lots of things that AI can do, and I would love to be able to take you deeper into it. But the reason I want to do this workshop is because I want you to come to the workshop prepared. So I'm going to send you out in advance sort of a worksheet so that you can start creating your to-do list of what you want to accomplish in your business with AI. And then once you provide that, I'll go over those over the time we're together. We're going to spend about between 2 and 2.5 hours together. Every question will be answered, and I'll even stay longer if there's more questions. But my goal is to educate you and have you integrate all these things that you're seeing but don't quite know yet what to do. Any questions about the workshop?
Yeah, it seems the finance guy thinks it's a reasonable price point.
Right. Well, again, so I've spent years working with a mentor and studying AI, and I've integrated it into my business pretty completely, and I've also integrated into clients' businesses too. And that's why I would like to show you some of the things I've done, and I want to help you do it too. It's not hard. There's no coding. There's nothing technical, and it's also very easy. Now, the other thing that I just learned this morning, and I'm going to see if I could fully figure it out before I present it, is that I just learned about a new tool that would allow me to automate blog posts across all platforms simultaneously as many times a week as I want. This means I don't have to create the content. I don't have to post it. I just have to tell it the content I want. It will create it. I can approve it. And then it will, one after another, create versions of it for Medium, for Facebook, for LinkedIn, and post it automatically every week. I'm hoping to get that ready to show you by the time we do the workshop as well. So if you're interested in working with me on this stuff, join the workshop. We'll go through it all, and you'll get a chance to be a little bit more hands-on, certainly, than today, and get some problems solved.
Yep. So here's we're going to land now because we're at time. But here's the thing for everybody: crawl, walk, run, fly. Pick one thing you're going to do. It doesn't matter how small it is or how big it is. One thing that you're going to do that you learned either from this workshop or from something else recently. Just one thing. Take that next step. And that's all you got to do. Like every day, every week, take the next step. Take the next step, and then you'll be the ones that are in prosperity. And bring other people along. There's enough for everybody. So bringing people along, this is a very different world. I'm concerned about many workers who are in task mode because the computer is going to do the task stuff quite well, as Mitch just described. I mean, all that posting used to be somebody's job. So take the next step, bring people along. There is enough for everybody there for prosperity. So is this a good place to land? Useful for everyone? You good? Join the WhatsApp group, keep collaborating, because I look at this stuff, it's fragmented, it's complicated. I'm a guy who likes smooth, streamlined, clear shots. and we're not there yet. So I need you. So join the group and collaborate and help each other out. We're going into the next renaissance, but this is how you do it. Okay.
So I want to thank everybody for attending today. I also want to say I really love helping people with AI. It's fun for me, and I get such a kick when I see people apply it and save time and make money with it. That's for me the most fun of all.
Do it. So, hey, Mitch, thank you for jumping on. I wanted you to kind of share your story. And each of you, let us know, join the group. Let us know what you're doing and what works. Yeah, but my head is still spinning all this stuff. So I need you. We need each other. Okay. So see you soon.